Good morning, everyone. Good Monday morning. Let's try and brighten it up for you. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
Together we're Backyard Musings, Apple Valley, People's Republic, California.
In the backyard once again. Temporarily, yes, but once again.
So yes, sir.
We're talking about interesting topic here today. A little agriculture, right?
Yep. Using a resilience theory approach could help reveal practical solutions and clarify their potential trade-offs. New research warns that modern agricultural methods are placing the global food supply at increasing risk by weakening the natural resilience of the world's soils. Rotate, right? Would you like to know more?
I was going to say, I learned about this kind of stuff in school. This is one of the few things that I remember about how the farmers used to have to, one year they'd plant wheat, and then they'd plant corn, and then they'd plant soy or whatever, and rotate it, and they rotate field to field.
I wonder if doing that for 100 years, breaks down the soil.
Probably. I think they they overdo it. We don't have as much farmland as we used to have, right? We used to have tons of farmland, and now we're pretty close to probably some of the most fertile farmland in the country, I would think, right?
San Joaquin
Valley is just huge hot spot for growing stuff. But anyway, soil resistance refers to the capacity of soil to resist, adapt to, and recover from disturbances, whether from routine farming activities or more extreme pressures such as droughts, floods, or other environmental shocks. A comprehensive review of current agricultural techniques found that while intensive practices like plowing, fertilizer application, and irrigation can raise yields in the short term, their continued and widespread use often degrades soil quality. As a result, soils become less capable of coping with stress caused by environmental or political disruptions. I'm not really sure what they mean by political disruptions, but
anyway. Maybe food insecurity. But
maybe somebody cuts us off because we're not very nice to a country, or they're not very nice to us.
We're not importing,
so we don't exporting. We don't get to bring in some of the stuff from South America, or they grow a lot of stuff down there too. So
if you remember, the Nile Valley was so fertile because the Nile would flood, and then the waters would go. So they would bring new silt, along the sides of the bank, and it just
natural rejuvenation.
Yes, yeah. Since soil support around 95% of global food production. Okay, and the rest is meat, I guess, and store more carbon than all the world's forests combined, their decline poses a major environmental concern. Repeated disturbance removes organic matter, compacts the ground, and disrupts the organisms that sustain soil ecosystems like worms. Right?
Worms, yeah.
Over time, these changes weaken the soil's ability to recover, leading to worsening erosion, salinization, pest infestations, and falling crop productivity.
Okay. According to the study published in NPJ Sustainable Agriculture on October 1st of this year, 2025, the most severe danger to soil resilience is erosion driven by overplowing, overgrazing, and deforestation. This process can strip away fertile layers that take centuries to develop. Other significant threats include buildups of salts in the irrigated soils, salinization, polluted from pesticides and plastic residues, and soil compaction caused by intensive livestock operations.
I guess when you're switching fields, they bring in the sheep to start eating, or?
Well, I think a lot of guys. Again, I'm no farmer or rancher, but traveling the I-15 corridor, you see a lot of farming up in Utah, and you'll see this time of year, you'll see cattle grazing in fields that maybe used to be corn or alfalfa or something like that until they're ready to replant or whatever next year. So maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe they got the flatulence and
the cow pies. Doesn't that help?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they're kind of hot. Maybe they're kind of hot for the soil. I don't know. I mean, that you'd think it would be, but what are you feeding the cattle besides what they're getting naturally in the
silage, maybe?
Yeah,
grain.
Yeah, I don't know.
Rothamsted's Dr. Allison Carswell, lead author of the study, said, quote, "Healthy, resilient soils are not just the foundation of food security, They are essential to biodiversity and climate stability. Yet many of the practices we rely on to increase yields today risk undermining that foundation in the future. Got an air show going on.
Somebody's late.
In about 30 minutes, there'll be an air show.
Yeah. The review notes that some practices, such as flooding rice paddies or liming acidic soils, can maintain soil resistance over the long term, and alternatives from conservation tillage to integrated pest management can slow or even reverse damage. But most solutions can carry trade-offs, requiring careful balancing of short-term productivity with long-term resilience.
The authors warn that ignoring soil resilience could leave farming systems increasingly vulnerable to tipping points where the sudden collapse of productivity becomes irreversible. Such failures, they argue, could ripple through food and trade networks, threatening global stability.
Yeah, back in the day, and I'm talking about way back in the day, people grew their own stuff, right?
Yeah,
you didn't
we
buy.
Got some stuff growing.
You might trade, but I mean, I'm talking about like large
acreage,
scale,
yeah.
And they fed themselves, and then they
give
also
the vegetables to the hog farmer, would give you a hog or two.
Yeah, or they would donate what do they call those things?
Food banks.
Turnips? What is it? Like sugar, beets.
Beets.
They grow beets. Some of them they keep. Others they give to the beet or the sugar manufacturers. So it was like a trade-off, but now it's just pounded out, right? I mean, get as much as you can out of it and sell it, make a few bucks, make a lot of bucks actually. The findings come amid growing concern that the world is losing healthy soil faster than it can be replenished, with the UN estimating that a third of soils are already degraded. I don't know about that, but anyway, as demand for food rises, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, South America, and Southeast Asia, the risks may intensify.
Quote, breaking the cycle of soil degradation is possible, Dr. Carswell concludes, but it requires rethinking how we manage land, not just for yields next season, but for resilience in the decades to come. You know what I noticed about this article? It was generalities. They didn't have any specifics. They didn't say this country has lost 10% of its arid, soil. Didn't do that.
Yeah, and did they interview any farmers? These guys that's what they do. I'm not going to second guess what a farmer or rancher does with their ground, and they're the ones that are. I mean, if they turn out bad stuff, they're not going to be in business for very long, right? And we got multi-generational ranchers and farmers in this country.
Learned
that they just
wisdom.
Right. By the way, just want to throw this in there for those of you who listen to us and live in California. Please vote no on Proposition 50 or the whatever it's called. That is a bad deal. That's a waste of money to have the special election. And we do not need to redistrict anything in.
They call it nonpartisan, but it's crazy. It is partisan.
Oh, yeah.
We have an independent commission right now that draws up the lines.
Yeah, and Gavin Newsom is all over this. And when Gavin Newsom's involved in it, it is partisan big time. So anyway, that's my political throw-in for the day. So take care.
All right, Scott. They were fired up, man.
Yeah, that's really bugging me.
All right. Thanks, folks.
Take care, everyone. Thanks.